Welcome back, Bond Nuts. Today I'm having a stab at the 1990 John le Carre post-Cold War thriller The Russia House, starring Sean Connery, Michelle Pfeiffer, directed by Fred Schapisi. The bio from IMDb: a British publisher is sent a manuscript detailing Soviet Union nuclear missile capabilities. British intelligence intercept it and recruit him to investigate the author's editor, a beautiful Russian woman he claims to have never met. So, Bond connections.
You sound like a cop to me.
Who's your connection?
Well, we have Sean Connery, obviously.
Are you a spy?
We have James Fox, who you might think is M from Never Say Never Again. I did, and I was wrong, and you'd be wrong too. It's actually his brother, Edward Fox. That was who M was, yes. However, there is a small cameo from Klaus Maria Brandauer, of course. He was Largo in Never Say Never Again, and there's Michael Kitchen, who was Tanner in GoldenEye, and Twine, yes, we only say the abbreviated. We don't go into The World Is Not Enough, it's too long, so we just say Twine, because we're cool. Let's get back to IMDb. The second American movie production to film in Russia, the first being Red Heat from 1988.
Cocainum.
And in case you're wondering whether it's a Russian tradition to swap watches at the end of a pleasant stay, like Ridzik and Dango did at the end of Red Heat, I interviewed a guy once who makes Russian watches, and he said it definitely is. He also told me that he stopped watching movies because the bad guy is always Russian. I mean, come on. That's just stereotypical nonsense. Lies, all lies.
You're lying.
One more nugget from IMDb. This movie, which filmed in Russia, was not the first time that Sean Connery had filmed in the former Soviet Union. Connery had starred in The Ren 10, never seen it, which had shot in Russia. The James Bond movie From Russia with Love, 1963, in which Connery had starred as Agent 007, did not actually film in the USSR. Who knew? Alright, what about awards? What did this win?
The Order of Lenin for Comrade Bond.
1991, Best Performance nominee. Oh, did it not win? Okay, so Michelle Pfeiffer didn't win, but Jerry Goldsmith did win. What did he win? Film Tracks Award. Oh, there's a Film Tracks Award. Very good. Nice one, Jerry. 1990, winner. So Rotten Tomatoes has this at 70% with the critics, 50% with the audience. The reviews are varied, as you might think. One anonymous writes, "Don't remember much, except that it's okay." Alright. And another one, "My name is Sean Connery. I have been bald since the 70s and I beat women." Alright, that's not so much a review of the film, but fair enough. Let's get to my thoughts, shall we?
And what do you think?
So, look, you don't see many films made in Russia, back then or today, Western production films anyway, so this does have a very unique look to this film, and for any movie location buffs, these particular attractions would no doubt be a feather in their cap. At times, even the writers of the film seem conscious that this is one for the Rusphiles.
Choose a monument.
The American side of this caper has Fraser's dad, it has Agent Brody, and that guy who always tends to be in a uniform. They offer some levity to this somewhat stuffy and complicated affair with crunchy dialogues such as,
Sounds like a crock of shit.
So, other positives, Connery is Connery doing his Connery shtick, of course, and despite there being an age gap of 28 years between Pfeiffer and Connery, you never once doubt his sexual prowess. You'll never question that it'll get rebuffed, because it doesn't. Has it ever? Especially with zingers like these.
Oh, Nicky said you were Russia's answer to the Venus de Milo.
And even the men in this film can't escape his magnetism. Okay, some negatives. Well, Connery is Connery, and we know him best as James Bond, so when the likes of Ed Fox is putting him through spy school, it does feel a little jarring. I mean, they could have found someone else other than the icon for British fictional spies to play this.
That's a fair question.
Fuck whether it's a fair question, just tell us the answer.
You got Ken Russell, yes, that Ken Russell, and he is bloody annoying in this. He looks weird as well. Apparently he was one of the original choices of director before he was replaced, but then he wanted to hang around because he needed a Russian visa or something, so... Although he does offer another Bond connection, which I like.
All the more reason to spy the living daylights out of them.
Russell is not the only one that's a bit odd. Connery playing the oboe is odd, and Martin Clunes watching Connery play the oboe is even odder. Overall, it's just a bit grey, and that's what Le Carré films are.
My father was sent to prison by grey men. He was murdered by men who wore grey uniforms.
Grey people in grey uniforms doing grey things. That's why I struggle with Tinker Tailor Spy. Everything is just so bloody grey. I get it, the world of espionage is generally grey and dull, so I'm told, and there's a lot of paperwork and not a lot of fighting on top of trains, but if I want the grey world of espionage, I'll watch the Ipcris File. The great Barry Norman liked it. I recommend his review.
Self-destructing jockstraps and the like.
I recommend the making of this, The Russia House. That's on YouTube. I'll leave a link to that. In fact, the making of is perhaps a bit more interesting than the film itself. So does The Russia House make my top 12 Connery film list of all time? Is Venetia. I'm sorry, it doesn't. In truth, I'd probably rather watch Red Heat. But that's just me. Until next time.